transcending from ego to self or non-self. First, we need to know and understand what is what. The ego is an unbalanced form of the self. So the ego has a distinct form, it has a personality, and usually it is fixed. So there is an essence of something that has some kind of thought that he thinks that it's right. And this thought or feeling of that is something that is 100% right, or that is the difficulty with our egos. That is why egos are creating wars, why ego they split and conquer, because the ego in a way protect itself from others. And it's focus on a fixed idea, and it's based on fear. So this is the ego. And all our diseases, our stress is based on this identification of ego. And then we must understand self. If you have meditated like me and done yoga for 30-35 years, you will have experienced what we call no self, emptiness. And this emptiness, it's like water, it's like the way of water. And runs, and it has no fixed ideas. And I have practiced the four-folded path in Buddhism, and also what Zen Master Suzuki talked about, the right in the wrong and the wrong in the right. So to go from ego awareness, and that is a very small awareness. You think you are right, but you are not open for all others' interpretation of right. You go from little small thing, you need to go to something that is so vast. And the first step you need is to go through the gate of the right in the wrong and the wrong in the right. Or, as in Buddhist we call it, there are four things One a thing could be right, it could be wrong, it could be part right, or it could be part wrong. So if you see this, you will understand that when you are fixed on something, you are creating disharmony. You are creating a dharma, not the dharma that is the consciousness, the fullness of self, but a dharma, the ego, has learned that something is right and something that is you have to do it like this, and somebody said no, you have to do it like this. And that is why to transcend from the ego to the self is a journey, not only with breathing, yoga, but you also need what we call to study texts of former masters, and not an ego master, but a master called like Suzuki or Imrat Khan from the Sufi tradition, or Buddhist text, or Rig Veda, or the Yoga Sutra by Patanjali, or the Quran, or the Bible, or the New Testament, to really get a much broader awareness, a wiser awareness. So to go from ego to self, this is the path. This is what we are longing for. Because in the self, and the self is like water, and it will adjust. It is based on the truth, that is a kind of balance. So, and this truth is love. So it's based on love. It's not based on fear that egos are, because usually people, they get their personality and they get their fixed personality because they have experienced fear or loss, and then they take control in a way, and they make kind of something around yourself that is protecting yourself, and this is the ego. But the self, it lives open, and it lives to create wholeness. So the self creates wholeness or holiness, and that is why we call somebody like me a holy person, a whole person. And this is in all the society, they call people who have worked to find a kind of consciousness that creates love, creates wholeness. But now, in all religions, especially religions that there are no living teachers, I mean, an enlightened person, a holy person, that is the leaders of these societies. You know, for centuries now, there has only been dead masters. Buddha, dead. Before Jesus, Jesus, dead. Muhammad, dead. And I don't mean that they are dead because they are still in spirit here. But you know that Jesus was very into that you seek inwards. And I've got down a testament called the Testament of Jesus. And this I will reveal later. And I have also got another text. It's called Equilibrium. And it says that now there will be many years that will maybe like from 50 to 1,000 years. There will be a transition area now from the Kali Yuga to the Sattva Yuga. And this is a period, Kali, it's meaning the ego. And I'm here in a way to try to help people to go or find their way back to yourself or to who you really are. And that is my wish for all people, because there has been so much lying, so much ego, and when even spiritual teachers is coming from the ego. This is coming from a small mind. You know that a true master is a person who has developed, who has gone from the ego to the self, who has techniques that he wants to learn people to find back to self or back to love, back to heart, back to real consciousness that is based on trust, love. And there has, you know, that Sat meaning truth or true, Kali meaning something that is dark. So we are going from dark to a lighter period now, and in this period will be there for like 25, 26,000 years. And I also have a text called Equilibrium, and I had from 2009, I had a lot of visions of floods, of wars, of catastrophic things, and what we see around us now is a part of that. And I think that more and more system that is based on ego, that is not based on love, not based on truth, was based on consciousness, Of course, it takes a lot of time, and I'm here as a messenger to learn you on how to go from that ego to the self, or back to the self, or non-self, as Buddha talked about. And you know that Jung and Buddha, Jung was a Swiss enlightened physician who have written the Red Book. So I would also recommend that as a book where he also in a way found the non-self, and how he had to in a way go through a death process of the ego to really find the non-self, or the self. He calls it the self, but it's clear for me that the Buddha and the no self is empty. So it's a kind of living emptiness. You're not fixating on something. It's a living love. It's like to become like water. But in that, you will have a fullness. You will have love. You know? So, emptiness and fullness, it is the same. And in the Kali Yuga, they say, and they have done it a lot, they have killed all the living teachers. You know, the last one, Osho, they killed him also. And the problem with the Kali, with the ego, is that truth is not based on truth, it's not based on love. So when Jesus say, look inwards, that is very important. So in this first one, look inwards, breathe, and use the right in the wrong, in the wrong in the right. Do not judge people so much. Be loving awareness. But of course, if there are ego, they have a lot of ego, you must protect yourself in a way. So to go from the ego back to non-self or self. Thank you. Om Shanti.